Hi dear audience, hope you would be fine. In this short video we would be talking about Where the Mind is Without Fear, a poem by Rabindernath Tigore. He was an Indian poet, before partition, therefore I am using the word Indian. Uh, More or less his nationality is considered, are associated with that of a Bengali community, as he was the Bengali speaker. So Bengali considers and claims that he was a Bengali poet, and as he has been writing before the partition, therefore some people locate him in the Indian literature as well, Indian English literature as well. So his very masterpiece poem, Where the Mind is Without Fear, is basically a prayer to God, where by the end of that poem he says, my father refers to the God, to the divine power, that I want to live in such a country which should be without the fear. As you know, unless and until the minds of the public are preoccupied with some sort of the fears, the men are unable to get freedom as well. And the liberation of mind basically brings the revolutions in the world. While this poem is also relevant and concerned to our present time as well. For example, if I live in Pakistan and some people live in that Gulf countries, and some people living in Africa, and some people are living in India, it is also relevant to them as well. For example, if America is considered as the most powerful country, but still as it is multicultural, still it has its own fears. The society is not well embedded into a single social fabric, but it is divided into many classes, races, genders, all these constructs. Basically, it is the time that we should have to unburden all these shells of thinking, shells of fear, shells of identities, where identity is considered as the most powerful tool of identification. At the same time, identity as a construct also delimits and dehumanizes some humans, while it privileges some other humans, other fellow humans as well. So Rabindernath Tigore poem starts with that, where the mind is without fear and the head is high, where the knowledge is free. If you look at these lines, where the mind is without fear, he is basically claiming such a perfect world where there should be the mind without fears. Though we live in the civic sense and civil societies, but still our minds are full of fears. For example, we are more fearful about our generation as well. We are more fearful about the future of our country as well. There might be a lot of doubts as well. For example, even a person, in my context, the person cannot cast his vote according to his will, because he is afraid that some politician, when once he wins, he may threaten his existence. He may threaten his children. He may threaten his existence as well. And this is basically the very first line. In a society, what the law confirms, or what the law should confirm, that is that it should be one should be living without fear. One should be living with a mind without fear. For example, if we talk about America, recently in America, the killing of the black people reveals that even the American society, in spite of its claim as a social democracy, is still practicing these constructs of the fear for the blacks, for the poor, for the people with the disabilities. So this is basically a pray for a perfect world where there should be the mind without fear, and the head is held high where the knowledge is free. Head is held high means everyone is equal to one another, and prestige, dignity, to held one's head as high means prestige, dignity, love, kindness, all these comes under the artifact are the maxims of the head is held high, and where knowledge is free. Knowledge is not free. What we receive, basically receiving, that's not the critical thinking, that's not the free, that is very some sort of knowledge. What right now word is practicing, that they are believed on some sort of presupposed archetypes, stereotypes, and that knowledge is going to be repeated and repeated again and again without the creativity. Why the word has stopped, why the word is not moving ahead. Here you may ask a question to me, whether it is for the third word, for the people of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, that they are not making their head to the progress, or the Western word is also included. Yes, my answer to this question is that the Western word is also stagnant in its understanding of the knowledge. It is also not moving ahead. It is also repeating the same knowledge. If it is repeating the knowledge, or if it is generating the knowledge, it is using for its own benefits. Still, if there are categories of the East and the West, there are the constructs of the first word and the second word. It means that the word is not at the homogeneous pages. Still, it is divided into many constructs. So where the word has not been broken up into the fragments and the narrow domestic walls, he is basically asking for such a word which should not be fragmented. Even our present word, African word, American word, the countries from the third world, they are divided into domestic fragments, and they have constructed their own narrow domestic walls. The West has constructed its domestic wall on the basis of race and economy against the Western. Even the West is very much some sort of feel proud for its advancement in the knowledge as well. And where the words come out from the depth of the truth. So he is claiming such a word that what we lie means all the we people, more lies, less we are true to truth. Therefore, he is claiming that, O God, O divine, let be the word without lies. Let the word be our words should be based on the depth of the truth. Where tireless striving stretches its arm towards perfection, means we should be striving, we should be working for the perfection. I'm not disappointed from what is going on in the world, but still we have to admit that the world is divided into, is not moving to the perfection. For example, where the technology has been taken as a beneficial for the humanity, at the same time technology has been used as a fraud against the humanity as well, where the technology was supposed to be the beneficial and helping for the humans, it has proved as destructive to the humanity as well. The case of the World War I and II is the evident example of this. So though we are moving ahead, but we are not moving ahead to the perfection, where the clear stream of reason had not lost its way. The society progress when man relies on the reason rather than the superstitions. Even in the 21st century, more or less, even hundreds and the thousands and the millions people still believe on the superstitions. They are afraid of unreasonable things. They don't think of themselves as God is going to be asked about man's, where he has used his reason as well. On the day of judgment, where all the other questions would be asked from us, the question of reason would also be asked from us, that God might be asking that, oh man, I have bestowed you with the reason, and where you have served the reason. So into a dreary desert sand of the dead habit. On the one side are our old habits, and on the other side is the reason. While the modern man, is going to be sink down into that chain of the old and dead habits. It means that we are not making progress. Where the mind is led forward by thee means by God, and uh, uh, and then he says that where the mind is led forward to thee into the heaven of the freedom, my Father, let my country be awake. He is basically praying to the God that my country should be, oh God, awaken my people for the freedom. And my unless my country people are not going to awaken for it, we would be living in these perishing situation. Therefore, he is asking God, oh God, save my people, save my country. Please awaken the people of my country so that they might be uh, uh, good in widening thought and action, into ever widening thought and action. So unless we are not very conscious of our thoughts and actions, then we might not be getting the freedom. This is the very masterpiece poem of Rabindernath Tigore. He was the Nobel Prize winner as well. This poem is loved by everyone, therefore I love this poem. This is the very simple, the metaphor which has been used in this poem are very simple, understandable. This poem is like very some sort of the poem for curriculum. It can be beneficial for the African people as well, because it may help them to get their freedom. It may be beneficial for the people from the America as well, those who are facing the crisis of these binaries. Binaries means discursive binaries, where the word is divided into many halves. But still, if you have any question, you may ask me. We would be there to answer your questions. With this, goodbye. Thank you.